A healthy outside starts from the inside. But how healthy is the inside of the foods we consume? The world has been taken by storm with the abundance of food companies and manufacturers worldwide. With accessibility on an all-time high and variety seeming endless, we've entered a new realm of processed foods. We've heard the taboo term of processed foods, but what makes them so different from ultra-processed foods? Ultra-processed foods go through higher levels of altering than processed foods, such as drying, freezing, boiling, and pasteurization, while also having ingredients that are added or taken out to improve taste and shelf life. These types of foods can be seen everywhere these days, with over half of an adult's at-home diet consisting of ultra-processed foods. These can range from fast foods, sodas, frozen meals, salted snacks, candies, and even certain meats such as hot dogs and cold cuts. A study done by the BMJ aimed to find out the contribution of ultra-processed foods in the intake of sugar amongst Americans and gathered that 58% of the calories eaten are through ultra-processed foods, making it the main source of nutrients in their diet. The main aim of this video is to analyze if there's a connection between the consumption of ultra-processed foods and cardiovascular diseases. So, what is cardiovascular diseases? Cardiovascular diseases is a term used to describe numerous disorders and diseases in relation to the heart or blood vessels through the body. It is currently the leading cause of death globally, taking the lives of about 17.9 million people each year. Another study published in the BMJ examined the dietary records of over 100,000 French adults over a period of 5 years. The study was a prospective cohort study that recorded their daily dietary intake and categorized the different foods according to the NOVA classification, which uses the degree of processing to sort foods. What they found is that the more ultra-processed foods they consumed, the more inclined they were to have cardiovascular disease, coronary heart disease, and cerebrovascular disease. Even after researchers adjusted the nutritional quality of the diets, they deemed the findings as statistically significant and indicated there were clear correlations to cardiovascular disease with the high consumption of ultra-processed foods. Processing induces significant changes to the food matrix, for which ultra-processed foods may affect health outcomes directly than unrefined whole foods with similar nutritional compositions. The degraded structure influences absorption kinetics, satiety, and glycemic response. Ultra-processed foods are also known to cause obesity, inflammation, oxidative stress, insulin resistance, and hypertension. These are all linked to various cardiovascular diseases and increase the chances of attaining one. It is seen to cause atherogenesis, which causes plaque buildup in the arteries, hence causing cardiovascular issues. It can also be deceiving because seemingly healthier food options may be worse for us because it's been processed. Let's look at a popular food item, white bread, a household staple eaten for centuries. However, modern bread is a far cry from the past. Industrialized bread is made by emulsifying the yeast with sugars, fats, and low protein flours to make the bread softer and fluffier for longer. The emulsifiers and levels of salt used to attain an even, consistent loaf serve as the issue. Although bread may not be as bad as certain other ultra-processed foods, the abundance in which we consume it may pose issues in the long run, especially if paired with other ultra-processed foods or contributing factors to cardiovascular disease. Listed here is the collection of reasons why a high processed food diet may increase cardiovascular disease. Feel free to pause and look through the reasons. While it may seem as though these foods are unavoidable, there are plenty of alternatives to help reduce your ultra processed food intake. By using fresh produce and meat that has not been prepackaged and frozen, you can eliminate a good portion of ultra processed foods from your diet. Switch out snacks such as flavored potato chips and candy bars with tortilla or pita chips and dark chocolate. Fruit juices are great alternatives for sugary sodas, and honestly, anything homemade is bound to be healthier and unprocessed for your body. Ultra processed foods stack on the shelves of every store, but weaning them out of our diet as much as possible could help reduce your chances of cardiovascular diseases. It may not be a permanent solution, but it's a good start. So remember, a healthy outside does start from the inside. So slow down, make smart food choices, and reduce your cardiovascular risk one unprocessed food at a time.